Yo, what's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we've got a brand new video talking about Techlead versus CoffeeZilla V2. These guys have gotten into even more stuff on Twitter, and it is kind of crazy. But this is probably going to be the last video on this stuff because I don't think it can get worse or more ridiculous than this. But I did do a video on this before talking about these things, and things got even more crazy. But if there's one thing that we learned from the previous video is that people don't like to hear the truth. Now, I don't care if you want to buy Million Token and hold Million Token and put in belief that it's going to make everybody rich. Just know you're donating your money to Techlead, a multimillionaire who is just trying to scam you and make more money. So, just keep that in mind. There's so many things out there where it just definitely shows you it's a scam, or he is at least doing this just to take money from fans, or try to be rich, or try to be like this big god figure or something and think he's changing the world. And he's not, he's just trying to take your money. But we can jump right into these tweets that are pretty good. Right here, you can see Million Token. This is them talking about their logo. It's a copy of the Stratton Oakmont from the Wolf of Wall Street. It is best known for defrauding shareholders and leading to the arrest of Jordan Belford. So, what's even better about this is that people idolize the Wolf of Wall Street, and don't get me wrong, it's a great movie. I've watched it countless times, but it's not someone you should try and strive to be. He did scam and fraud tons of investors out of their money by telling them one thing and just doing it to get their money. And does that sound familiar at all? Sounds like someone who is just constantly shilling their Million Token project, making it seem like it's the best thing known to man. And if you look at the price, we can see, I mean, it is not the best thing for anyone to get in. I mean, who wants to be in on this chart? And the fact that it still has hype is the only reason is that Techlead keeps talking about it. But we see, massive hype just released and then dump, bleed out. Like, it is dying. The price continues to go down, even with all of the CoffeeZilla talks about it, Techlead talks about it, all YouTubers making videos on it. It continues to plummet, even though there is people talking about it constantly. And one thing that we can look at from the previous video, where it was CoffeeZilla showed Techlead has like $5 million, $6 million in Million Token that he still has, that he has to sell. This is the volume. He cannot sell $5 million worth of his Million Token and get $5 million if there's only $2.4 million in volume. That's selling and buying volume. So even if you cut that in half, say half's buying, half selling, $1.2 million. If he tried to sell all 5 million, the thing would collapse into nothing. So that's why he's continuing to try and hype it up, get people to talk about it. And I'm sure he is slowly selling out of all of his positions to try and make the most amount of money. And one of the worst and weirdest tweets and things from him is using this Me Too thing. I can no longer be silent. CoffeeZilla abusively, yikes, me for views. Me too. He's been sexually inappropriately touching up photos of me and stalking me. Support survivors of harassment at milliontoken.org. He made a tweet talking about this with things that can be very bad, very real, terrible for people, and used it as an advertising way to advertise his token that he's trying to scam people. If you see this, if you see Techlead doing this, and you think to yourself, that's a good project. Those are good morals for a project. I mean, how much more clear can it get? And people are still trying to say, like, the Million Token, it's all misconstrued, and Techlead, what would you do if this happened? He created a token that that he started on a lie. He didn't put $1 million into back in the first place. So started off on the wrong foot just in the beginning. And then he has a bunch of Million Token where he is just holding it. And he's sold $3.3 million worth already. Still has $5 to $6 million worth in the token, plus $1 million like Uniswap contract. It's like, if you can't see all he's doing, I mean, come on. It's obvious. It's in the open. And even this tweet right here, which he apparently deleted this one fast. I don't know. I would assume CoffeeZilla isn't making this up because there's a tweet on Techlead's page saying he's making it up, but who knows? I don't think that this would happen, that he would make this up. But this tweet is just, absolutely crazy. Like, like he's full of himself. He thinks he's something that he's not. And to just go to Techlead's Twitter page itself, it is literally all talking about Million Token, trying to promote it, trying to do this, shots at CoffeeZilla. Like, just look at these tweets. Like, this one, milliontoken.org, 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 milliontoken.org. His retweet, milliontoken.org, milliontoken.org, milliontoken.org. Like, come on. Every single tweet has it in it. Like, what are we doing? He's just trying to continuously pump it. I guarantee what he's trying to do right now is continue to keep this hype up, continue to get people involved, because the volume is so low. We've already seen it is too low for him to sell out of $6 to $10 million worth of positions. So he has to do it over time, and he can't dump it all right away. If you sold 5 million on 2.4 million in volume, the price collapses. It goes to zero. So it's something that he needs to do slowly, and I bet that that's what he's trying to do. That he's trying to sell slowly, keep the hype up, make sure people are hyped about it, keep going in, because the volume just isn't there for him to sell. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be burned from this, are going to lose lots of money, and they're just basically donating it to Techlead at this point if you are buying this token. There's a lot of talks with everybody in here saying, it's just misconstrued, it's this, that, and the other, and trying to defend it, but all these points out in the open, it's just, like, it's crazy. You cannot defend this token, you can't defend these actions. All of the evidence is there. By all means, if you want to buy and hold this thing, it's riding to zero. Just look at that. I mean, it is literally riding to zero. But it's just a coin with no fundamentals, no utility, nothing. It just has Techlead behind it. And then this tweet makes it even better because he doubled down on his ridiculous statement of selling a kidney, saying sell a kidney for Million Token. At some point, you just have to ask yourself, when Lambo? So trying to use memes or something to say you're just gonna get rich and get a Lambo, and saying, look, you could sell one and have Million Token. It is all a shill, all to try and get your money to pump up the volume to try and get his bags settled because he cannot sell them. Just like what we said before, with no matter how much money you have, he has $5 million in Million Token. It is only worth that if someone's willing to pay that for it. And right now, you can see people aren't willing to pay that for it. It's not liquid. It's not liquid enough for him to sell $5 million. So he has to continue the hype, has to continue driving people to Million Token. Now, I mean, we continue to see it. Every single tweet, every other tweet has milliontoken.org, his video talking about Million Token, like .org. Like, how much more obvious can it get? But people are still going to defend it. People are still going to jump in. If you really want this and you think it's the future, by all means, do whatever you want, but the evidence is overwhelming that this thing is a scam. So just make sure you keep that in mind when you're thinking about any crypto project at all, not just Million Token, but especially this one that we're talking about, but any crypto project in the world that is just created by some influencer and they continue to pump the price and just say it's going to the moon, when Lambo, do all these things and start to try and use things that people talk about Bitcoin with, saying, at first they ignore you, then they fight you, then this and that, and then they join you. He has that tweet on his Twitter right here. He changed it, attack your Discord, then you win. But it's something that you try and take from Bitcoin because Bitcoin is something with utility, with fundamentals that can change the world, and try and get people to think, this coin is the next Bitcoin, trust me. And all they're trying to do is take your money. So, guys, be careful in this crypto space. It can get wild, especially going down these altcoin paths and influencer coins and meme coins and all of this stuff. But That's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. See you guys in my next video.